About a differentiation. Look, you have plenty of categories. So yeah, many of them would go into beauty and so on. But for me, it was very simple. Get the best product in the box. Get the right customer experience. Make sure that the members get the box in time and everything else with the best products out there. Give the brand the best marketing campaign for free. And then the last, but definitely not least, are the influencers. Give them a high roller experience in the casino kind of like thing, right? Make sure that they would be obsessed with BoxyCharm. Don't just do it for the transactional piece. And if you do those, it would be very easy for you to move forward and grow. And eventually, once you scale yourself more and more, when you go with us, it was literally about the brands that are coming into our box and the product curation and how can we build a better algorithm to truly personalize the product, right? But once you have, say, hundreds of thousands of units that you're asking a brand to produce for you, they say, well, why would I work with small quantities with plenty of little boxes and do each project and invest the same amount of time when I can just work with BoxyCharm and do 500,000 or 1 million units at once, and that's it. So the gap that was created was in terms of the brands with the reputation, the ability to also procure products at a much lower cost because of quantity was there. So we were able to, for the same cost, produce a much better box with a much better value because we had the volume, we had the critical mass that we would produce. And eventually you don't have to worry about the entire market. You just have to focus on producing the best product. And yet we had our formula and it kept kind of like enriching itself. And that's why it worked.
So you had to differentiate yourself against a BoxyCharm versus Birch Bark. I think that's the name of the company. You know, how did you change it? Like, what was the difference? What was the difference between you two? You're both leading providers in the industry.
Well, Birchbox, obviously they're the first movers, but they were not the leading going 2015 on. It was no longer the major box. I mean, Ipsy was the major one after that, and Ipsy was doing an amazing job, by the way. Mm-hmm. And those are my new partners. So I'm going to tell you, I'm not biased what I'm about to tell you. This is the truth. But they are amazing, and I think they had an amazing team. And the reason I liked the competition was because it gets you out of your comfort zone and it makes you think very creatively. And that's why I was able to scale my business. I needed that competition. Now, I understand the difference. Okay, one started about 2 years prior to BoxyCharm, which is Ipsy, and then Birchbox was and Ipsy were distinguished with BoxyCharm because of the size of the products, right? They both had sample size. We were the ones with a full size. So our proposition was different. The other piece behind all this is the way we work with products was a bit different. Where we would say, well, we have an eyeshadow palette. How can we trend that palette? We would have an organized formula to trend our products prior to placing them in our box. So people would be educated about those products prior. And they would come for the box because of the item. And it was systematic already. And by the end of the day, you don't really have to worry too much about distinguishing yourself, even if they were going into full size, which Ipsy later on did. It's because every box has different items. Everyone has personalization. And the best part behind all this, it's not a winner takes all type of space. We have many members that have multiple subscriptions. So if your products are good, they're going to stick. If you can keep segmentizing the product for those members properly, where the question is, it's who, what, and when. Who wants what, and when do they need it? This is a very important part, right? And based on that, you build an algorithm. So an eyeshadow palette can be great, but do they always need that particular type? Is it fall winter type? Is it summer? When did they receive it last? Is it the right consumer to receive an eyeshadow palette every month or every other month? All that had to be built with a very sophisticated algorithm that we built that keeps enriching itself. And I think we've done one of the, perhaps an amazing job, one of the best out there, because the retention speaks for itself. Otherwise, you would never grow to be over 1 million members in a full size space where they have to pay $25 or more. In some cases, about $35 box or $50 box. So that's how you can tell where your segmentation based on the who, what, and when works.
That's crazy. A million subscribers.
Yeah, BoxyCharm, Ipsy had 3 million. So it's completely different because one has sample size and had a phenomenal job to actually introduce sample size that would be almost in a full size format. And they converted the industry into a place where people get to try everything before they want to buy. And that was again, they had their algorithm, we had ours, and I think combined it was
entrepreneur.